What is up, GeoDudez Army? Jason here, back for a delayed video. I'm like 3 weeks behind on doing this this whole Spartan race second video I wanted to do. Basically, I was going to do kind of like a vlog style, besides that other like kind of like official one, which was just kind of like basically focused on the race itself. And then this being the kind of the vlog sort of video. So it's been almost 3 weeks and a couple days since the race. I wanted to do this right after the race, but I just was so busy after literally the day of the race up until now is my one little moment to make this part of the video. So I didn't really vlog a lot at the event. I did a little bit, but not much. But I didn't do really an intro or an outro, so I thought this would be a good way to just kind of do that and a little filler in of any sort of specific mentions during the race. So being 3 weeks now, I'm all mostly healed up. My hand, you'll see if you haven't seen from another video, you kind of see clips of it here and there. I got my hand scraped up pretty badly, and my arm. My arm's pretty much almost completely healed up here. But then my hand, I think, took the worst of the beating. It's just now scabbing and stuff like that. That was the worst of it. Other than that, let's take a look at the race, and I'll talk to you guys more about it near the end.
Our heat's about to come up. Hippie Rob is back. Has been Rob being in front of the camera?
I know, it has. Look, well, I wasn't paying attention.
I just said it was an intro. I think we'll do a little bit better than last year. We did 2:04, 2 hours 4 minutes. So let's go ahead and put our guesses in now.
I'm gonna say hour and a half.
Hour and a half? Okay. I'll say 1:20. Hour and 20 minutes.
What do we
see what happens?
What are we betting on? What are we stakes?
I don't know.
The beer?
Yeah, the beer at the tent. I give you my free ticket. No, I want my free beer. Even though it's beer I don't like. All right, we'll see you guys on the course. You call that pulling a paw.
Pulling a ball, yeah.
There you go. Trying to Kofi it. So pissed. No, I'm fine. Just didn't realize it was that short a drop. Just jumped over. Trying to use the rope. You guys have med kits around here?
Med kit? I think he's in the truck with it.
Okay.
Hey, Steven. Oh, you got it.
Finally got it for once. You got it, man. You're one away. There you go. You're good.
I actually did it.
No!
Together?
What's it? I can't get a grip under it.
I know, just pick
That's
up
what
a
I'm
little bit.
trying.
Slide your toe under it.
All right. Here we go.
You got a good spot?
I think so. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm good. All right, get your knee under it. You're good. All right, drop it right.
How much did you jump on that?
Huh?
How much did you jump
Just barely. Oh, sorry. There's a step right there, so just slide down.
I can't believe you got it going right there, dude. No, it's too slippery.
Just get your hand on that one. Whew. That hurt. Just give it a full run. There you go. Grab the rope. Congratulations, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Fit 8, our healthiest drink before we get to the beer area. We definitely didn't hit our time probably that we were shooting for.
Well, you busted yourself open though.
Yeah, that too. I'll show you guys after. But yeah, boy.
Too sweet, bro.
Too sweet.
So the race this year, me and Rob, we improved a little bit by last year, I believe by about 10 minutes. Not still as good as I felt we could have done. I think my hand injury is what delayed us a little bit. Also, there was a few obstacles that people were like, I don't want to call people out, but they were getting a little scared of the height and stuff. Like I remember climbing up at a couple points and like people were trying to like walk them through, coach them to come down and stuff. Like say, hey, it's alright, just look at me and stuff like that. And I get it. It's just a little kind of aggravating for people like us that are, you know, doing this race for knowing what we're going into it and, you know, trying to do it the best that we can time-wise. So another thing you guys didn't realize, I kind of missed a couple of the normal spots in the race. Wearing the GoPro, you kind of sometimes forget when you hit record and when you hit stop. And it must have been one of those moments where instead of I thought I hit stop, I hit record. And then when I thought I hit record, I hit stop. So, I had to at one point keep asking Rob, am I recording? Am I recording? Like to look at the light on my camera. So I kind of missed some parts, one of them being when I hurt my hand. So in the previous races when I did this event, there was a big giant concrete wall that you had to climb up, like rappel up, like as if you almost like you're Batman or something. I know I had to use that reference. But instead they reversed it. So instead of going up you went down it. So you basically started at the very top of it, which is about, I thought was higher than it really was. The big part of the wall is about 15, almost 20 feet high. But instead I realized, so when I was rappelling over, or when I was kind of rolling over the top of it and grabbing the rope to rappel myself down, it was literally about as tall as me at 6 feet, 6'1". So I literally just landed on my feet. Well, I didn't realize by doing that, like, I was expecting to kind of like drop out. Well, I didn't, like, I guess I didn't grab it right. It's not the race's fault, it's my fault. But I ended up dragging my arm when I was trying to like rappel down, and my arm just dragged across the concrete. So immediately just like destroyed my hand. So I was a little concerned, it being, dirty, I'm sweating and everything like that. And it was so early in the race too, which made me very upset. So fast forward after that obstacle, the next one was the sandbag pull. And that's where I went to one of the volunteers, and I said to them, "Hey, do you guys have like a medic or somebody that just can wrap this up for me? Like, I don't need medical attention. I need someone to like kind of cover it up." And they were like, and so they call on the radio, and I'm waiting, and then finally it's just like, "Well, dude, let's start working on this obstacle while I'm waiting." I didn't care about my hand that much to like worry about it. I wasn't in pain really. I think most of the pain was like I felt like a bruise is growing underneath. So we went to start pulling the sandbag, where you got to pull up the rope about 15 feet high. And as I was doing this, the volunteer walks over to me, had the radio, and he's like, "Hey, like if you want medical attention, they got to pull you off the course." And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, so I basically have to stop the race. And I'm holding the sandbag as I'm having a conversation with him. He's like, "Yeah, you pulled off the race." And I was like, "Okay, then I'll keep going." So I was kind of like aggravating. I thought that, they don't have any sort of like bandaging that they can just wrap it up, gauze or something. At least that I can prevent any sort of preventative measure to know I would not get any sort of dirt or grime inside of it. So that being said, I basically was racing the entire race by watching where my hand was going. I basically had to avoid two of the obstacles, which were where you're crawling under the barbed wire and in the mud, because basically the barbed wire part this year, it ended up going right into the water, and people were dropping into the water. So they're already getting submerged for the most part completely, their lower half, their neck down to their body. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to get my hand infected or something like that and have my hand like amputated. So that was not going to happen. So I ended up going around that and at least attempting to do some of the mud part. I went into the mud pit around the barbed wire area. Again, like, this isn't stuff that I feel like I failed. It's just I have to take precautionary measures. I have a large open wound in my hand, and I don't want to get an illness or something. I mean, you got sweaty people and dirt, and you don't know if anybody else is bleeding, and they went into that water. So it's just I gotta take precaution the best I can. So when I went in the mud pit, I was able to kind of climb through most of the mud parts as you saw in the video. And then when it came to the dunk wall, obviously that right there I had to completely skip around because I can't dunk and submerge my hand completely underwater. So skip that part as well. But for the rest of the course, being minus those ones, I guess you would consider I didn't do. The only one I didn't accomplish this year was the rope climb, which is every race I do. I can't get that rope climb down. But minus the rope climb, I technically did everything. I hit the spear toss for the first time in my fourth race, so that was cool to finally nail that and get that accomplished. That's usually always an automatic. That's called a burpee stop, basically, because 98% of the people fail it. So it was nice to finally accomplish that one. But like I said, we ended up finishing about a little bit 10 minutes less than we did the year before, which is just under 2 hours. So I was a little disappointed that I didn't feel like we could improve even better, considering how well I did at the stadium race last year. So I thought this year would be no problem with my training and stuff being like about the same as I was at the stadium. But like I said, I feel like a few that kind of held us up. The tire flip for some reason this year seemed a little more challenging for me than it was last year. I don't know what it was. I guess maybe I hadn't been training on my tire flips as much as I should have been before the race. And but I still did it. There's a part where you guys saw probably, I kind of got mad and I was screaming at the tire like, "I'm not giving up," because I just didn't want to fail. Like, that's my goal, is to go through this entire race. Harley cameo is to not have to fail anything. So be in mind that, like, other than the ones obviously in my hand, but like the rope climb is the only one that I failed technically this year, which was nice to like accomplish. Only one failure. Hi. We did 10 minutes less than we did last year, which still is an improvement, which is great and all. And I look forward to do next year. I'm actually probably shooting to do the trifecta next year, which is a sprint, which is this race, which is kind of the easiest one. It's only about 3 miles and 24 obstacles. You got the super, which is I believe 6 to 8 miles, and then you got the beast, which is 13 to 15 miles, and then the obstacles amounts go up as well. But for the other two, the super and the beast, or sprint, whichever ones I choose, I'll probably have to travel for 2 of them, because here in Arizona, the only ones they offer are the super and the sprint. So, and I'm not going to do 2 days in a row of Spartan races. But yeah, guys, it was another successful year. I got the medal and everything. The medal's pretty cool. I look back now as I was doing this shot of the new medal I got, and man, I really just love the first year I did it, the medal. I like because of the edging around it, and but they're still cool. Still cool to collect, obviously. You know, they're just adding up now. Very expensive piece of metal to get, but it's just cool to, you know, kind of have a little collection going to them and, you know, see the accomplished I was able to do. So that being said, what's next? I got the state in terms of Spartan races. I have the stadium race coming up in June. I'll be volunteering for it again in the morning and then running the race in the afternoon. And that'll be it probably for me for this year. And then next year, my goal in 2020 is to do a trifecta. So that being said, I'll have to travel for 2 of the races, which I'm be cool for. You know, get a little vacation, mini vacation in to do a race, and go somewhere maybe I haven't been before, and, you know, check it out. That wraps up this second version of the Spartan race for this year. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments, is there any obstacles that you see in there that you would love to try, or if you want to try it. Like I said, SpartanRace.com. I'll throw the link down in the description below. You guys can go check out the website, see if it's in your part of town. Like I said, they're doing these rural type runs, you know, that are kind of like, you know, in the deserts or in the woods and stuff. But then they also do stadium races, which a lot of them are indoors or more like urban, you know, and kind of modern. So they're not, you know, as messy, because I know a lot of people that aren't into the mud stuff or whatever, you know, they're like, ew, gross, that's dirty and gross. But the stadium runs are a little bit more clean. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, my name is Jason. Spartan Crush the cash.